Hi, I'm Andi. Welcome back. I'm really happy that you're here. Today we're doing a twofer, and I want you to let me know what you think of this. I'm doing my update for my fun-sized pan that palette, and also my update for my Love Your Eyeshadows project. Because the fun-sized palette update is always like 4 or 5 minutes long, let me know what you think. I do them one day apart anyway. I always do my fun sized on the 9th, and I do my Love Your Eyeshadows on the 10th. So since they're so close, I just put them together. Would you like to see them together, or would you like to see them as separate videos? Just let me know. We're going to start off with the fun-sized Pan That palette. This is a Pantastic Ladies collab. I will have a link to the Pantastic Ladies Facebook group in the description box below if you're interested to go check them out. My fun-sized Pan That palette for the year is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Quad. I'm going to put a picture up on the screen of what it looked like when I first brought it in. It was pretty much untouched. I think I'd used it once or twice. And then this is what it's looking like this update. Not too exciting. I don't have a lot of use on it, but I'm going to tell you how many times I used each shade and the amount of uses total. Shade number 1 I used 3 times for a total of 18 uses. Shade number 2 I used 4 times for a total of 19 uses. Shade number 3 I used 4 times for a total of 17 uses. And shade number 4, I used 4 times also with a total of 20 uses. And that is what she's looking like. She's got such a nice dip going on in here, and pan. I don't know if you can see the pan in there. There's pan in there. This one actually has a pretty nice dip as well, not near as much as this one. So here's my thoughts. This is not a very impactful shade, so I feel like I'm really kind of digging in there to get some payoff with this shade here. These 2 shades I use as a, transition and crease shade. So I think next update, I'm hoping to have a pan in this one, but I may not. I mostly use this for my inner corner, so I don't know if I'm actually going to have pan in it or not next time. We'll see. We'll see if I can use it more than 3 or 4 times. I had a lot of palettes that I was really just wanting to use, so that's what I did. Okay, now we are going to look at my Love Your Eyeshadows. I do have all of my rules in the description box below for this project. It's a lot easier to put them down there than it is to go over them every time because, you guys, there's a lot. Basically, I roll in shadows, I use them 10 times, and then I roll them out. And in order to get good use out of all my shadows, I have my palettes and my singles and my super shocks. They're all on different wheels so that I make sure that they all have a fair chance. So let's look at what we had in here. The first palette that was rolled in is the Nothing Compares to Nudes. This is an Essence palette. I really like these little palettes. This is what it looked like when I first brought it in, which was last update. And then this is what it's looking like now. I do have my 10 uses on this shade. It's this shade right here. I do have my 10 uses on there. There's a nice little dent in there. This was always an inner corner shade. I don't want to say always. I think a couple times I might have used it on the front part of my lid. But other than that, it was inner corner. It was a very easy inner corner shade. Very easy to get my 10 uses. The second and last palette that was rolled in is the Fire and Ice palette by Nomad Cosmetics. It's a beautiful palette. I don't have any B-roll footage for you because I only used it 1 time. I knew that this was going to be kind of a chore. I don't want to say chore. It was going to be challenging. It was going to be challenging for me to use. It is a very beautiful shade. I'm not even swatching these, you guys. What's wrong with me? It is a very, very beautiful purple to blue. So this is the Essence. This is the Nomad Valkyrie, Fire and Ice Valkyrie shade. So I didn't do any B-roll because I've only used it once. So there's really no disturbance. I mean, maybe just a little bit of disturbance, but honestly, no. Honestly, there's no dents happening, you guys. No dents. So the first of the singles that was chosen is a Sydney Grace shadow, single shadow called Your Best. This is what it looked like when I brought it in. And this is what it looks like now. There is a lot of disturbance in there. There is a nice dent happening in there. This is what it's looking like. I did use it 10 times. It was effortless to use 10 times because this is one of my favorite shades anyway. So I didn't have a problem using that 10 times. So that is also rolling out. The second single that was rolled in was from my Colourpop singles. I do have them on a separate wheel so that all the singles get a fair chance to come up on the wheel because as you know, I depotted all of my Colourpop. I feel like I've said that so many times, but I have. So I put them all on their separate wheel. The shade Night Dream from the Blow and Smoke palette was brought in. This is what it looked like when I first brought it in. I'm pretty sure it had never been used, but maybe once, but I'm pretty sure it had never been used because I'm not a fan of sequin mattes. And this is what it looks like now. When I used this, I used the lightest touch because it is so pigmented. So that it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of disturbance there, but you guys, I did use it 10 times. Like when I would just use a brush kind of like this, and I would just like, just touch it because it's so pigmented. And I just use it as an outer corner, like darkening up shade. So I did use that 10 times. So that is also rolling out. My last shadow that was brought in, it's always a Supershock. It's on the Supershock wheel, and it is in the shade Roy G. Biv. This is what it looked like when I first brought it in. It had been used previously. This is what it looks like now. A little bit more disturbance, not a whole lot, because you guys, I've only used it 3 times. I've only used it 3 times since being in this project. This one's tricky. It is a very warm pink. It's almost like a peachy pink. Again, I didn't swatch. This is the Night Dream shade, Night Dream. And then I'm going to swatch this for you. There. It is a very warm pink. It is a pink with a gold points in it. So it does tend to look peachy. And I did a lot of cool pink looks and cool looks last month, or since the last update. So I didn't get a whole lot of use out of it. But, so that's staying in for 7 more uses. So to recap real quick, the Nomad shade Valkyrie has to be in for 9 more uses. And then this will be in for 7 more uses. I don't think I'm too far from hitting pan, actually. And everything else is rolling out. So we are rolling in 1 palette and 2 singles. So let's pull up my wheel of names. We'll bring up my palettes. I think this is up to date. I think it's up to date. I have just decluttered a couple of palettes, and I'm not sure I took them off the list. So we'll see. We'll see. But see what it comes up with. BH Passion in Paris. Perfect. I rarely use that. I rarely use it. So that's good. Okay, we're going to bring in 2 singles. So the first one will go to Single Pans. These are my singles, and they are up to date. Sydney Grace Dark Chocolate. Okay, that'll be an easy one. That'll be an easy one. Okay, now I'm going to bring up my Colourpop singles. And let's see which one comes up. D7. Okay, I'm going to go get that palette and my singles, and I will explain to you what D7 means when I come back. So the palette that was chosen is the Passion in Paris. And so there are 16 pans in here. And we're going to do 1 through 16. See what it gives us. I did turn down the brightness a little bit. Shade number 3. Oh, wow. Okay. So that is this shade right here. It is a pewter dark gray shade. That is what it looks like. I am perfectly fine with that. So we'll swatch the other palette, which is the Valkyrie shade. So those are my 2 palette shades. Those actually look really pretty together. I was really hoping that one of the shades that was chosen out of the Passion Paris was not a blue. If you know, you know. Okay. The Sydney Grace shade Dark Chocolate that was chosen. This is what it looks like. It is a beautiful chocolate brown. I don't have any problem. I won't have any problem using this. And I'm pretty sure it has not been used. So that's exciting. And then my Colourpop shade that was chosen was D7. This is one of my Colourpop things. And you can see that there's letters at the top, numbers at the side. So D7 was right here. And this is what it looks like. This is actually the shade Lucido, something, from the Through My Eyes palette. It was a 20 pan or a 16. It was a bigger, it wasn't a 12 pan. So that is what that shade is. And if you notice, it's very similar to that one. So it'll be a great inner corner shade or a like front of the lid shade. So let me swatch these real quick. So this is our new color story. It's not hateful. I don't mind it. The silver, I will use the silver. I will try to use this as much as I possibly can this month. It's probably going to be in for a couple more months. But these 2 will be very easy to get my use on. If you know, you know. I really love neutral shades, so those will be easy. And then this one I will try to get some more use on before the next update, but I'm not sure it'll be rolling out. We'll see. So a little different. Color stories are a little bit different. A little bit. That brown shade, it's going to be really easy to use. Really easy. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for my Fun Size Pan That Palette update. Also, my Love Your Eyeshadows update. Again, let me know in the comments below if you like them together, if you want them separate. Let me know. Tell me what eyeshadows you're working on this month. If you're doing the Fun Size Pan That Palette, or if you're just trying to use your eyeshadows, tell me what you're really concentrating on this month. And until next time, everyone have a great day, and we'll see you later.